All right, everyone, here we go. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. It's straight up energy reading. Let me roll up my sleeve for this one. This is Pluto with Aquarius. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal reading. Even if 50,000 people watch this reading, I don't think it'll be enough, because I think it's an important energy. It's always important anytime something's happening that's never going to happen again in your lifetime, or that's going to last 20 years. It's going to make up the energetic makeup underneath the surface, the darker side, the deeper side of the energy for the next 2 decades. And that's exactly what's happening. Both of those things. Capricorn Pluto is leaving, and Aquarius Pluto is rolling in. So what's Aquarius Pluto? Well, Capricorn Pluto, I wrote about this in my blog. There was a lot, when Pluto was in Capricorn, there was a lot of people that wrote books about it when it first went in, and there was high hopes for it. It was going to bring a great awakening, a great change. It was going to do all sorts of things. I went back and I read Bridget Walther's book on it that she wrote right before the beginning of it, and not a lot of that happened. We made some free will decisions that took us in a different way. If you look at the beginning of Pluto in Capricorn, for example, birth of the social media, right? It was supposed to bring us together. It was supposed to unify. It was supposed to be the greatest thing. And at the end of Pluto and Capricorn, on the backside, it's divided. There's red Twitter, blue Twitter. There's going to be red Facebook, blue Facebook. It's all divided. It's all gone wrong. So we got a chance here with Pluto and Aquarius. I've got a very positive, actually, for Pluto, a very dark energy. I have a very positive pre-shuffle here. It's actually quite interesting. So what is Pluto and Capricorn? Well, I called it in a tweet the hippie, or Pluto and Aquarius, I'm sorry. What does Pluto and Aquarius mean for us? Well, I called it in a tweet the return of the hippie. It is a little bit. It's sort of the Beatles song Revolution, right? You say you want a revolution. Well, we all want to change the world. It's a bit of that. I think protests will pick up one way or another. I don't know what they'll be protesting. I just know we might see the birth of a new Bob Dylan for all, because the times, they are a-changing. There's no doubt about it. We're entering a very interesting energy. Here in the pre-shuffle, what's it mean to the soulmate cycle, all that protesting and hippie, free love and this and that? Well, it means a lot of people who are in bad relationships have had enough. There's a revolutionary shakeup. For some reason, there's a layer of bravery in there. People are going to protest their own lives. All right, so it's great news if you've got a runner or something who's married or in a relationship attached to you. That's fantastic news. This is great energy for you. But it runs much deeper than that. Well, we're just going to talk about the soulmate cycle here, okay? We're going to bring things back together. There's a lot of karma that we're going to have to deal with what happened in Pluto and Capricorn. And that's because Aquarius is a mixed energy. It's like fruit punch. It's a whole bunch of different things. It's Saturn and Uranus energy blended together. So there's some revolution in there with Uranus, but there's also some karma coming back from past decisions. So keep that in mind as we flow through this energy. And it applies to your relationships too. There's a spider web here on this 8 of Pentacles here on my pre-shuffle. All right? And I'm just going to show you top 3 cards here. You've got 8 of Pentacles crossed by the 6 of Swords and the 3 of Cups. You've got an unavoidable conversation. Why do I say that? I should say it's unavoidable, but because of the spider web. But it's avoidable because it's minor arcana. It depends on you and another person making the same decision, wanting the same thing at the same moment. Okay? Now that might sound like, Steve, that's like the odds of winning the lottery. Well, not so much. This energy is changing. I'll show you why in a second. Okay? So let's just say there's a conversation coming with somebody very emotional. Okay? It's been in the works. It's been on the way towards you for a while. But in this new energy, this new era, right, with the World, the most powerful card I can pull, as we move into this new era, okay, things play out a little different. This era brings things back together, all right, where they separated, where Capricorn and Pluto went wrong, we got all divided, right? United we conquer, divided we fall is very fucking true. Should have learned that lesson back in the Civil War for sure. But here we are, right here, coming back together. You're coming back together with somebody here. A conversation that's been on its way has been taking its time, because I think, and I don't think this really is what happened. Obviously, that'd be putting too much hocus pocus on it. But I think the universe sort of slowed this conversation down and kept slowing it down. You might have seen tarot readings where people kept saying, oh, they're coming in, or they're, whatever. I would never say that. I'd say they might, because I can't predict free will. But it probably slowed it down until we got into this energy here. All right, we got a taste of this energy early in the year, back in January, and then it kind of went to shit a little bit because some of the other energies around it peed on it. But there was a moment for a few weeks in January for most people where you got a real taste of what's coming in this new era. So we're bringing things together, and the last card is just the Eight of Wands bookending the Eight of Pentacles, which is where I got conversation from. Okay, there you go. Let's shuffle. Let's see where we go. It's a very positive pre-shuffle. I expected something crazy. I expected some deep, dark karma cards and judgment everywhere and shit like that. No. Pluto. I have to say this energy is quite optimistic. It is. It shows things coming back together, things that have separated coming back together. I think that's terrific. I don't know how it's going to happen. It's not going to happen without a bunch of protest and revolution, but that applies to the soulmate cycle in a big way. If you're going to come back together with somebody, there's going to be a discussion, and they're going to have a discussion with people on their side. There's a re-emphasis as Pluto moves into Aquarius. There's a deepening of love, how much love we feel. It applies to both sides, the DF and the DM. Okay. So the DM side that normally shows up as a Burger King is going to feel a lot more. It's going to feel a lot deeper. All right? They're going to be yelling up at the sky, why must I be a teenager in love? Right? Like that old song from the 50s. Yeah. That's the early 60s or whatever the fuck it was. You know. All right, let's shuffle the deck here. Give me the soulmate cycle. Right? The influence of Pluto in Aquarius. Now, I'm only doing the early transit of it. All right? Only a few Pluto readings a year. I'm only doing the early transit of it, just a couple of months, just the first couple of months of this. That's all. I'm not divining that far out. First card out's before the cuts. Why the fuck are we here? Okay? So why the fuck are we here? Look at that. Look at that. Pluto is a very dark underworld energy. It really is. It's a creepy little energy. It's a creepy little planet. It got downgraded, right? Dwarf planet or whatever. It got downgraded. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Sure. Yeah, okay, fine. But it didn't change the energy. Just changed its status. That's all. It didn't change the energy. The energy, it's got an elliptical orbit. It's a weird orbit. It doesn't orbit the same way. It orbits like an overview of the solar system. It's strange. And it goes through different phases in it. It gets closer to the sun and then it's further away from the sun. Fucking nuts. This is a very dark energy here. So there's an awakening of something. I'm going to guess it's love. Love becomes this very powerful thing. Not unlike with the hippies. I had hippie parents, so I kind of know the hippies, the late 60s, early 70s people. In the beginning, it was wonderful. If you go into San Francisco with flowers in your hair, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, in the beginning, it was a wonderful thing. It ended poorly. At the end of the hippie era, the love became weaponized. A lot of people say it ended at Altamont when the Hells Angels went to town and cracked heads on people at a Rolling Stones concert. But it ended before that. It had become convoluted. So we have to be careful of that. We have to keep perspective, and that's my advice to you on this. At least in the beginning, we have that perspective. So I think we're going to use it wisely. I hope. I know my viewers will. I'm not worried about you guys. Yes, look at that. See, I said dark underworld energy. I got the Hangman, which I just described to you. There's a very deep energy. Here's the Death card after the cut. Red with that Hangman. Huge transformation. We have the perspective early on. We are, in effect, the hippies. You're in a relationship, a very hippy-dippy, free love kind of, let's just bang, fuck it, kind of 1967, 68, whatever, 69, that kind of summer of love type shit. I don't ever remember which one was the summer of love. Was it 67 or 68? I don't know. I have no idea. The big summer of love where everybody headed to San Francisco. Whatever it is, we're in that phase where it was okay. It was good. All right. And of course, there were people that opposed it. In your relationship with somebody, it's going to get very deep. It could be a new soulmate. It could be your runner. I don't know. You and somebody are going to get very deep. And not unlike when the hippies all rolled into San Francisco, there were a lot of people that opposed it. Oh, we don't want these fuckers here. That kind of thing. There's going to be people that oppose your relationships. And it's because it's very deep. Okay? And those are people that aren't getting the perspective they're not utilizing it. They're shut down to the energy. All right? That's all. So just have some empathy for them. Anybody that opposes your relationship with somebody during Pluto's transit through Aquarius, just, put a flower in your hair and send some love vibes their way. That's all. Don't argue, all right? One thing we have to learn is not to fight what we can't, can't control. And I think we'll get that message pretty clear with this energy, That's the thing. All right, let's go. Let's see where we're at here. Definitely. Let's see where we're going. Give me a soulmate cycle with the influence of Pluto and Aquarius. It's a big energy. There's a lot to understand. There's a lot to talk about. You can't just say the return of the hippie. Well, what do I mean by that? You got to think about how they loved, okay? They loved very deeply, It was a very, very deep time. There was a lot of love in the air. Even when I was a little kid, which was well after the Woodstock and all of that kind of stuff, there was still, all my parents' friends and stuff, there was still a lot of that deep feeling of love, and the kids were all really loved and taken. They were just weird about it. I thought it was all a little strange, but everybody was always high all the time. But beyond that, just try to think about what that was like. And we haven't had that for a while. So it's nice to see love making a return, especially for a guy that runs a channel called Steve's Love Tarot. It's been a little tricky the last couple of years. All right, it's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here, or you found Steve's Love Tarot, you're here for a reason. Remember, I fucking said that. Remember, I said both of those fucking things, please. All right? It's timeless. Whenever you find it, you're meant to find it. Pluto's energy moves very slow. It's a slow medicine. It's a slow burn. So it's going to affect all of you at different times. Our overall energy of this reading, 9 of Pentacles. I don't even care what's fueling it. I just got done talking about hippies and free love and all this stuff, and I've got the 9 of Pentacles, which this deck doesn't do justice. Usually it's some really hippy-dippy girl out in a garden with a bird on her hand and all that kind of, it is what it is. And it doesn't even matter what's fueling it, but I'll look anyway. The 10 of Wands. 10s are the end dead end that lead to a new beginning. A new day is dawning here. It is. You can see it right here, cracking through it. So, there you go. It is a very hippy-dippy feeling energy, There was, in that time, in the hippie days, if you will, which I always wondered why they didn't do a sitcom called Hippie Days. Happy Days. The 50s weren't that great. God, you couldn't even, if you're a woman, you couldn't even open a bank account in the 50s without your daddy or your husband's permission. Hell, you couldn't do that technically until the 60s. But I always thought Hippie Days would have been a good, funny show. That would have been nice, all right? There's a lot of things about the 50s that weren't that happy. A lot of things about the hippie days that weren't that happy either, I suppose. Protests and stuff. But what I was trying to say, I go off on tangents sometimes. Never mind. What I was trying to say is there was a very anti-establishment sort of vibe going on in the hippie days. Okay? Very anti-establishment sort of vibe. And we're going to kind of we have that sort of breaking here. We have a breaking point that happens. What I mean is, if your person's married or in a relationship, they're not going to want to be there. They're not going to want to have anything that restricts them around. It's going to be anything that restricts them is going to be much, much heavier, okay, than it normally is. All right? That's all I'm saying. It's nice. I like it. All right, let's go. Let's pull a reading. Right here's the energy around you. You know enough about the energy now. Fine. Right here's the energy around your connection. Right here's the 3D energy around somebody. This is somebody very important attached to you. Could be new, could be a runner. I don't know. Their soul is here. The hidden energy message from the universe is here. It's red with the energy of connection. Right here's the potential final outcome. I say potential because I cannot predict free will. Nobody can. I will clarify everything through some universe cards at the end. I'll probably extend it. It's an important reading. Why the fuck wouldn't I? This is energy that's going to be affecting us for the next 2 decades. And you're never going to see Pluto in Capricorn again. So we blew that one. Let's not blow this one. All right, here we go. Hey, that's all I can say, right? There's nothing I can do. I just sit back and study what everybody does. I don't know. Energy around your connection. 7 wands. It's a light at the end of the tunnel energy a little bit. I'm drawn to the flame, which normally I'd say somebody's about to rise up and do something. Yeah, somebody is. Somebody's about to figure something out. It has a lot to do with this 10 of wands fueling this 9 of pentacles here and what we talked about. All right? There's a breaking point where it gets all anti-establishment about their life. They see you as freedom and free love, and I want to go with Steve's viewer to Woodstock. I don't want to stay here with you and vacuum. That kind of a vibe. And that's a lot of what happened. A lot of what happened in the hippie generation, where the kids were rebelling against their parents. Their parents were very traditional sort of thing. You know, grew up in the 40s and 50s, adults in that era, very cut your hair, wear this. Even rock bands had to wear suits and stuff like that. In the early days, they all dressed the same. Like the Beach Boys used to wear little outfits and stuff. At some point, it just all fucking snapped. And that's what's happening in somebody's life attached to you. It might be happening in yours too on some level. This applies to both people. All right? It is what it is. 3D energies around this person. Yeah. What did I just say? Death card. Yeah. What did I just say? Everything's changing. It's transformation. It's huge. Stripping away the old. I got Bob Dylan in my head right now. The times they are a-changing. Right? They are, man. Go listen to that song. That's what's going on. All right. Bookending the 7 of Wands. 5 of Wands. Somebody here is fighting the old way of being. Okay? Fighting their old way. This is the soul. Okay? I don't mean they're out punching the mailman. I mean they're fighting their old way of being. They are rising up. There's a light at the end of the tunnel and they want to go see what it is. Okay? It reminds me a little bit of the Moody Blues got a song called Tuesday Afternoon. It reminds me a little bit of that. That energy comes in here quite a bit in these readings. There's a line in that song where the trees are calling him near. He's got to find out why. You know, it's a bit of that. It's kind of what's here. All right? All right. Let's go. Message from the universe. But, yeah, 8 of Swords. I felt that. That was weird. It's a weird energy. You know, I don't want to go off on another tangent, but that's fucking strange. It's read with the 7 of Wands. Okay, I'm going to read it this way. The way the energy flows, I'm surprised. Is somebody surprised they're not afraid? Okay, there's this energy of fear that's there. It's been put there. It was put there during the tail end of the soulmate cycles period through Pluto and Capricorn. Just a lot of fear tactics, a lot of stuff like that. And people in their relief, we saw it sometimes if I pull on the relationship of the runner. If I pull a fly on the wall, we see somebody being talked out of leaving. Somebody wants to leave, but somebody else has more influence on them, all that kind of thing. So that's usually, we keep people in line through fear. Okay, that's what keeps them in line in a relationship or whatever. Somebody here, the fear no longer has an effect on them. The fear is wearing off a little bit. All right, and that's why we have such a weak energy of resistance here in the soul. Potential final outcome for you. What's this all mean to you? This is somebody. Okay, you're tied to this a little bit. You don't have any fear either. You want a revolution too. Okay, all right. Justice. Look at that. The black cat and the white cat about to have a conversation. There is. I mean, I could rainbow unicorn this. It's hard not to. But do you want me to be honest? Okay, or am I going to catch all kinds of waves of shit on Twitter? Because, I mean, you know, I can't start censoring myself here, but I got to be honest with you. Okay, I'll do the happy tarot reading first. The black cat and the white cat about to have a conversation. For you, this is all a bit of justice. It's all a bit of you were right. It's all a bit of, yeah. Finally, something fucking happened. Finally, you saw my way of seeing things. Finally, this and that. Yeah, you feel good. You feel quite liberated. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and be honest now and tell you that my energy here, these cards just reflect energy, is drawn to this sword right here. There's something dividing these two still a little bit. And it's not much. Okay? Yes, we are coming together. Yes, the black cat and the white cat are having a conversation. But there's still a truth, and we call it sometimes in slang an elephant in the room. We talk about the elephant in the room. There's some sort of lost in translation. We saw it in a recent weekly reading. Was it the weekly reading or the Friday reading where I mentioned the dangling participle? Remember that? Where, you know, you say something, but it's perceived the wrong way, kind of a thing, because of how it was said, right? He hit a pole running down the street. He hit a pole running down the street. You mean the pole was running down the street? No. You misunderstood. No. He was running down the street and he hit a pole. Well, why didn't you say that? Well, I did. Right? It's sort of a dangling. It's sort of like that. Okay. So pay attention a little bit to what I said in the Cancer section of either the Friday reading or the weekly reading this past week. Okay, I know it was one of those two. We're going to clarify randomly at the bottom of the witches is the Emperor. I'm enjoying this reading a lot more than I thought I would. This is great. I like this universe being overall fairly positive here. I mean, I have to say, if you're part of the soulmate cycle, you're likely to fare better than those who aren't. The soulmate cycle is fairly small. About 20 million people, most energy readers figure. Okay, and there's what 7 or 8 billion or some shit in the world or something like that. The soulmate cycle, which is what I'm focusing on here. It looks like you guys come together, things do well, love is felt on a deeper level. People aren't afraid anymore of someone trying to talk them into staying and putting the feel, oh, if you leave me, you know, your world's going to fall apart, or you need me, or whatever. No, that's not working. It's not, they don't. They're surprised. Somewhere in here is surprised that they don't feel the fear. And there's very little resistance. Somebody here is changing, and it makes you feel good. Okay, it does. You like that this person now feels the love on the level that you felt it. Whether it's a family member you have a soul connection with, a friend, or a runner, or all of the above. This applies to many soul connections you have. Okay, and some of it is future influence, and some of it is in the right now. Somebody you're with that you just wish would, love you a little more, get it a little more, feel a little deeper. Well, they do with this energy. All right. 7 of Wands, why is it here? Let's go. Give me the 7 of Wands, universe. Let's clarify this fucker. It's crossed by the Wheel of Fortune, which is a 10 in the major arcana. 10s are the end, dead end that lead to a new beginning. What's been stuck is about to get moving. That's the easiest way I could translate, because if I'm to take the 7 of Wands aspect, the light at the end of the tunnel is one thing, but here, the wheel turns everything. So somebody here there's no defenses. All defenses are down. I think that's why you end pretty happy here. But I do want you to keep in mind that there is a misunderstanding. Even if you have a great conversation with somebody, right? And you left, there's still, I think the misunderstanding is on both sides. It's sort of like that dangling participle. You misunderstood it one way, and they thought they made their point. Or the roles can be reversed. You thought you made your point, but they took it a different way. It didn't end badly. I don't get it ending badly, but I get it as being a problem down the road. You follow? Okay. I hope. It's an important thing to understand. All right. What's else? A lot of times we talk and people don't listen. Start a YouTube channel. You'll find out real quick. Right here is that people hear what they want to hear. They always do. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. All right. The moon. Again, there's that fear. There's that fear. And again, it's turned. It's backing up my read here on these two energies, which I know may have seemed strange, but they just don't feel it. It's just that somebody's not afraid. Why is the moon here? Yeah, the 9 of Cups. Somebody knows what they want. They go in to get it. Okay? Somebody's not afraid to wish for something better in this energy. Why? Because we're loving deeper. We're feeling love deeper. Think of the hippies, right? The hippie tippies. All my mother's friends, I remember, they were all hippies. They all loved me. They all would come over the house and, oh, look at you, and give me a little kiss and a hug or whatever. It's just they were all very affectionate. It was nice because I had deep empathy, and it was nice. It helped me to understand love at an early age. So it was a good environment in that respect to grow up in. There's the death card here. Let's pull on that. But they were all very lovey-dovey, and we get that here. They're not afraid to show emotion for a change. It makes you very happy. Whoever this is somebody who's been cold and shut off, or you wished would feel it the way you feel it. Okay? Yeah. Just beware of a slight misinterpretation. And I'm going to say slight, but it could end up being pretty major. Remember what I taught you. 2 parallel lines, even just one little micrometer apart, eventually are 1,000,000 miles apart. All right? And if they're not truly parallel, we don't have a meeting of the minds here. It's not perfect. All right, the death card, why is it here? What are they doing in their life right now? I like this. Overall, I like this energy. And the cards are backing up my energy flow read nicely. But let's see where we go here. All right. It's crossed by Temperance. I want to say the generic sort of answer here. They get it. The change is happening. It's divinely guided. It feels all divinely guided, but it's bigger than that. in everybody's life, as Pluto takes hold in Aquarius, in everybody's life, leaving the we're paying for the karma of past decisions aside, when I say we feel love deeper, we deeply love it. It's not something that's restrictive. It's very liberating. Like Aquarians, for example, could take you or leave you. Aquarians are fine as an energy. Aquarius energy is fine being by itself. It'll have you as a friend. It'll have you as a love. But if you don't want, if it's not something you want, then that's fine. They're okay, independent as well. This is that kind of energy. It's sort of a you love deeply. Everything feels heavenly and wonderful, but you almost don't require the reciprocation. In other words, you love for the sake of loving because it makes you feel good. It makes you one of those creatures that can reproduce without the opposite sex, sort of a thing, right? I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying it's a bit of that. And that's good. In this case, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying it's very good. But it can get out of hand. You have to be careful. All right? I'm not sure if the DM side is going to be able to temper that very well. Although it is there. The opportunity is there for them to. Again, this makes you, the final outcome, this makes you very happy. You had wanted somebody to feel this way for a long time. Or at least open back up. They are, but keep in mind that's tough to handle. All right, it might be a bit much. You might, whoa, well, easy. I never expected to hear you say that. Right? What's on top? Karma. Yeah, karma. There's the karma. Yeah. Why is karma here? That's a deep, dark energy. Wow. 8 of Wands. Yeah, somebody is past karma's coming back from decisions made in when Pluto was in Capricorn. Somebody made a decision to stay, for example, somebody made a decision to stay in a relationship with somebody else or pass on you and run away from you. Okay? That's coming back to bite them. Okay? And they're having to act on that karma. They have no choice. They're surrounded by it. They feel love. They feel all that love comes your way. They made a bad decision here. Someone is taking care of business. Okay? We'll just phrase it that way. We won't get too crazy with it. But I will tell you, this scares the crap out of me. There's a lot of scary karma there. Somebody decided to do something that was against their soul's true purpose. I think for a lot of you, I see that a lot in the Leo soap opera. That person, whoever the fuck that is I'm pulling on in the Leo soap opera, is completely going against their souls. Their soul is a free spirit. And they live in a life completely contrary to that, and the net result is toxin. All that toxin there is having to be dealt with, and it's being dealt with in a way, almost the way a hippie might deal with something, right? They're all peaceful and stuff. They try to, can't we just get along? Sort of, but it's almost the nice, if somebody's asking for a divorce on their side, it's the nicest ask that's ever happened. Look, I love you. I don't know, maybe we just live apart. We could stay friends, and we could, it all sounds like it's like a big Bob Ross kind of episode or something like that. Thank you, and God bless. Bye-bye. It's a bit of that. It's weird because the Temperance is here, and yet this is such deep, dark karma coming back to bite them. Normally, this would cause them to freeze up and stay. In this energy, it doesn't. It's really cool. I don't mind telling you. 5 of Wands, why is it here? Yeah. We're gonna somebody asking for a divorce like Bob Ross. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye. Till next time. 5 of Wands. Oh, Jesus. We could each go paint our happy little rocks on our own. All right, 5 of Wands in the soul. What do we got here? Jesus. Unreal. I like this energy. I'm surprised. I mean, this is, in the soulmate cycle, it's beautiful. I'm keeping the soulmate cycle bubble around this. But I'm not going to go there, but let me tell you. 5 of Wands crossed by the Knight of Cups. If you're part of the soulmate cycle, you end with some nice justice here. There's a lot of love coming your way. Oh, I'm talking about the Knight of Cups. Yeah, you end with some nice justice here. There is a lot of love coming your way. There's your proof right here. Okay? Very little resistance. Somebody wants this here. Again, the fear is gone. Whatever, it is karma on some level on somebody's side that they allowed something to hold them in place. Okay? Somebody moving forward with their life. It looks like they come your way. I've got hope. Big time. A flame of hope in a connection that probably seemed like it was long gone. Queen of Cups, the most love I could pull from the deck. The 3 of Wands, moving in a new direction. I wasn't worried. I ain't gonna see no devil on that. Knight of Cups crossing the 5 of Wands, the weakest card for me of resistance that the energy will throw me. with the most love I could pull, the Queen of Cups, and somebody here coming to get it. Somebody here moving in new directions now. And again, I have to put the humor on it because it's here with Temperance crossing. It really is this hippie free love kind of vibe. It is like Bob Ross breaking up with you. I mean, it's really strange. And the way they feel, I mean, they mean it when they come toward you. They mean the feelings. And I don't know what the misunderstanding is. It would be remiss of me not to tell you. Okay? It would be wrong. It would be bad. So I have to mention that there's something you might miss. So make sure you listen and make sure you're very clear in what you're saying. Okay? Because the love is very deep and very whatever. It can all be very hazy and dreamy in this energy. All right. Okay. Eight of Swords. The fear tactics that normally keep this person stuck, whoever it is that's attached to you, and your energy's attached to you too, aren't working. They're not working anymore. Okay? It's fine. So that's good. Especially if somebody, you know, again, whatever's kept somebody apart. A lot of times, especially if it's like a family soulmate, and they're sort of a runner, we've had a problem with them, they're afraid to contact. A lot of times even if it's a friend or whatever, somebody's just afraid to reach out. Too much time has passed. Fear really does stop us from doing a lot of things. There's no time in the energy. Time is just a silly illusion. It doesn't matter. It's reach out. Even if you haven't talked to somebody in 30 years, who cares? Reach out. You know, just do it. In this energy, we kind of do. You know. All right, let's go. Eight of Swords. Hippie love. Well, I was just about to say hippie love, and I stopped shuffling, and look at that. There you go. It's right there. Somebody's not afraid anymore. They're not afraid to love anymore. I'm going to take it that way. They're making new choices. It's Archangel Raphael doing some healing, and it's one of the only times I see the guy right there. I very rarely see that. Normally my eye is drawn down here, right? No. This is really cool. This is way out of character for somebody. Different kind of choices, different kind of energy. You saw the world in the pre-shuffle. I said there's a new era. It's a whole new thing. All right? And these fear tactics may have worked on them in the Pluto transit through Capricorn, you know, but not this time. Not in this energy, not as it gets going. Even in the early stages, there's a lot of that fear energy wearing off. Some of you, I'll tell you, very soon. Two of Pentacles. Why is that here? Because that's red with the moon. Knight of Wands. Yeah. This is red with the Nine of Cups. Charging towards this Nine of Cups. Charging toward what they want. Absolutely. Making new choices. A lot of healing here. Again, the hippie love. That's the energy I get off of this. I got no devil in sight. I've got the Two of Pentacles here, red with the fear. Somebody's not letting it. The fear has held them back before, but now that fear is too hot to handle. That fear has turned into frustration. Somebody wants love here. We all do. Everybody in the transit of Pluto through Aquarius is going to feel love on a deeper level than they felt it before. It's similar to the way you might, if you're in your 40s or your 50s or your 60s, you know you don't feel love as deeply sometimes as you did when you were like a teenager or something like that. It'll be close to that. It will. You know, whatever oxytocin your body's got left, it's going to release it all at once in spurts. And that's an energy. I know it's a real world chemical kind of alchemical sort of thing, but it's energy. Everything is energy. All right. So it's along those lines. I said earlier, a lot of these DMs, for example, they're going to yell up to the sky, that old, why must I be a teenager in love kind of thing. It's a bit of that. A lot of deep feelings here. And the fear tactics don't work. Fear tactics don't work on teenagers either. Teenager in love, if you think about it, the fear tactics, if you see him again, I'm going to lock you up forever, right? Is she going to be sneaking out? You say that, she going to be sneaking out at 2 o'clock in the morning. No fucking guarantee, absolute guarantee, you know. Oh, man. Doesn't work. The feelings are so deep. Nothing can keep you apart. It's like a big Romeo and Juliet shit thing. All right, Justice. What's going on here? What's this? Talk to me. Talk to my viewers about this Justice card, all right? And don't make me say anything too bad. Don't make me ruin this reading. It's beautiful. I don't have a devil on the table yet. Don't fuck me. I feel like I'm going to get fucked. I am. It's crossed by the Five of Swords. I fucking knew it. It's such a good conversation. But there's one thing. There's just something missing. Okay, there's just, all right, there's one more sword you need to make this a good card. You know, this becomes the Six of Swords. It's a good card. It's moving on to clearer waters. Everybody's, you know, fucker. Okay, what's on top? I knew you were gonna fuck me. Do not throw me a devil. Do not. Okay, God, thank God. Well, kind of did, but I'm going to be nice. Why is it? I know it's a Ten of Pentacles. I know it's okay. I'm going to tell you right now, you got nothing to worry about. You don't need to like brace for impact or anything. It's fine. I'm just trying to dig in a little bit here. The Five of Swords says I was right to let you know about the other energy that's here. Why is the Ten of Pentacles here? The Ace of Swords. Yeah. Again, it says the same thing. There's one sword missing from making this good. There is some sort of misunderstanding about either you misunderstand their life or they misunderstand yours. This may have come up in a recent reading. I'm not sure. But there's something that you need to be, I'll just say you, because you can't control what somebody else does. Okay? You can only control your reaction to the energies that come in. So I'm going to say during this conversation, which looks like, I mean, we got a major arcana here. This is some shit. All of this is dependent on somebody's free will, but with the amount of love they feel here, somebody charging towards what makes them happy. What they didn't want before, by the way, or wanted and passed on. Okay? But while you're having your conversation with this person, I'm just going to tell you, be very, very clear on your life and what you want. Okay? They will be receptive to it because of the deep love and the deep whatever. Sharing your feelings feeds this energy. With Temperance that was crossing here, these cards are read together. Sharing your feelings in the energy of Pluto at Aquarius. Everything you feel, everything you dream, dumping it out works to your advantage. It makes the energy stronger. It solidifies it. Okay? Whereas normally, in the soulmate cycle, I would tell you to keep your mouth shut. Don't share too much. It's the opposite in this energy. Okay? So be very clear while you're talking. I can't control what they're going to do. Maybe it's them who's unclear, but make sure you're clear about everything you want, everything in your life, how you feel, all of that. Don't go into any relationships because, we love each other so deeply. Don't wait 2 years to talk about, 1 year into a marriage to talk about whether or not you guys want kids. There's a lot of people, believe it or not, that break up because of that shit. They've been married a year, they finally have the conversation and finally find out the other person doesn't want kids. And then they end up, that's a deal breaker. Why the fuck didn't you talk about that before you even bought a fucking ring? You know, this is the kind of thing. Be very open. It's just an example. I'm not saying that's happening for you. You don't have to take me literally. Just catch my drift. All right, let's see what else the universe wants to tell you. This is great. We end with an Ace of Swords. It's a reconciliation energy. It's beautiful. Just a message to you and to be very clear. All right? All right. And if you think there's something that might be misunderstood, well, I have the benefit here on YouTube. If I think I said something that might be misunderstood, I just snip it. You don't have a snippet. You don't get to, in a real-time conversation, sniff it. Okay? So make sure you filter the words as they're coming out of your mouth. And it's going to be hard in this energy, I will tell you, because it is, the feelings are deeper. Deeper. I know. It's nice. We're going to have some deep readings. We're going to get back to the old school Steve Love Tarot where I get all deepy and lovey-dovey. You know, I believe it. I believe it. I've been looking forward to this energy. All right, let's go. Let's do it. 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card. What else you want to tell my people? Oh, fuck yeah. 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. I love it when cards from the reading come out here. 9 of Cups. There's the 9 of Cups. Page of Cups. And the King of Pentacles. And the High Priestess. Oh, yeah. Whoa, it is the hippie days, right? The High Priestess. Right? Okay. It's a little bit of that, actually. And there's the King of Wands. It's going to seem, hey, look, I don't joke about anything that's not in the energy. I mean, it is. It is straight up. I think the King of Wands, the Burger King, is going to seem like you're going to find out some things about Burger Kings, the King of Wands, which can represent multiple soulmates on the DM side of this soulmate cycle for you. They're all reflecting as this either out of balance Emperor, mostly reflecting King of Wands, or the King of Wands. That's what we call the Burger King. Got to have it their way. Narcissism, all that kind of stuff. Afraid to share their feelings, afraid to be vulnerable. All of a sudden, they're saying things they never said before. It feels like new love. So if this is an old runner or something like that, or someone you haven't talked to in years and years and years and years, it feels like the first time. It's like that Foreigner song, right? Feels like the first time. Isn't that a Foreigner tune? It's ringing in my head right now. I think it's on the Double Vision album, right? Or no, I don't know. I don't know what album it's on. Feels like the first. I think I'm thinking of Cold as Ice, or I don't know. I get their albums mixed up. Anyway, doesn't matter what album it's on. Feels like the first time. The Burger King is talking stuff from the depths of their soul. It's as though they are the high priestess. All right? And now we got the Nine of Cups red with the King of Pentacles. This era, okay? Be careful. Keep in check. Keep yourself in check a little bit. The DF side of this cycle, this passage of Pluto through Aquarius as it moves through, the DF side can get a little too dreamy, a little too fanciful, a little too whatever. Try to keep yourself grounded, all right? You do that by simply remembering who you are, remembering your place in the world, all right? Sometimes that happened with the hippies. I remember, because again, my parents and all their friends were fucking hippies. Sometimes that happened where the hippies just forgot that they started thinking they were like Jesus or some shit. They started thinking that they were, you know, whatever. I don't know if they had too much of the wacky tobacco or whatever it was, but they lost themselves a little bit at times. Try not to. Try not to float away, okay? I don't have a devil on the table. I don't. And I love that. I'm afraid to maybe find it in the extended. I'm going to go deep into this judgment card. I recommend, I'll tell you, I recommend we do that. And we see what's going on in this person's life and we see what's happening with you. I like this energy for you. If I have to tell you to stay grounded, I mean, that's some good shit happening right there, I'll tell you. But this here, this will blow your mind. I can see why it blows your mind. Because you don't expect a lot of the things that this cobra is saying. Okay? You don't expect a lot of it. It's coming from the depth, stuff that they've had buried for years. People are feeling, and also whether they're talking to you about it or not, they're feeling it. It's all coming up and it's flowing. All right? So it's sort of shutting down Burger King, like the health department shutting down Burger King for a little bit. Oh, I like that. All right, if you want the extended, the link's in the description. Wow. This is going to be something. I'm not even sure what to pull on first. I may leave part of this reading here. I'll open the reading by pulling on you a little more. Okay? Hope this reading was helpful. If you like this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate all the subscribers, everybody who shares, and everybody who watches. Wow. That's pretty wild. All right. Good luck.